So we're going to test them and see how they're doing. Okay. So we're going to test for doneness here. Again, our resistance test, which we've learned so much about. And we don't want to feel any resistance as the knife penetrates through the beet. And there you go, no resistance. So we're going to go peel our beets and make a little beet salad. Very simple. Beets are something that are misunderstood, let's face it. Most people are used to those beets they get on a salad bar when they're going down, in a deli somewhere, or the fond memories of beets coming out of a jar as a child. Beets are really very nutritious, very easy to prepare, and something, again, that you can prepare ahead of time and won't diminish in flavor or in texture. We're going to bake our beets, and that's the first thing we're going to do. And I like baked beets a lot, and we do it in a papillote, a French term for in paper. But in this case, we're going to use aluminum foil. You see that the shiny sides on the interior, which helps reflect the heat, so it gives it a little more conductivity, and that's what we're looking for. So I've got my beets. I've washed them. I've taken the stem off a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of a cooking oil to it. This is so simple. Some salt. And then I'm just going to fold this over, fold that over, fold that over. You get the picture. And fold that over. And then we're going to place them in our baking dish, and we're going to take those to the oven. Okay? So we bake these 350, 375, and what's the time? Well, it really depends on the size of the beet. So if it's a really big beet, it may take an hour and 20, an hour and a half. If it's a small beet, it may take 45 minutes. We're going to be able to open this up fairly easily and go inside and do that resistance test with our knife to understand where they're done, okay? It's really hard to overcook a beet though, believe me. So it's been about 45 minutes. These are relatively small beets, medium beet maybe. So we're going to test them and see how they're doing. Okay. So we're going to test for doneness here. Again, our resistance test, which we've learned so much about. And we don't want to feel any resistance as the knife penetrates through the beet. And there you go, no resistance. So we're going to go peel our beets and make a little beet salad. Very simple, using minced shallots, some extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and some chopped chives. So the problem with beets, and the only problem with beets, is their color and how they bleed on everything. So there's a number of different ways to peel the beets. If you have a sink that has a garbage eradicator in it, you can run it under water and it comes right off. You can use a paper towel. You can use a pair of gloves. In this case, I'm going to use a pair of gloves because they're right here and they're handy. Or I could peel them with my hands and have beet stained fingers. You want to do them when they're warm. And the skin just peels right off like that, you see how simple that is? There we go. One peeled beet. When I was a child, I can remember, at least I think I can remember, or at least have stories about people boiling beets. I don't know why we would boil a beet when you can bake them and have such a beautiful result. You think about this may be a teaching moment, dehydration, right? And how that concentrates flavor. So when you add water to things, of course, the water many times is absorbed by that product, therefore diluting the flavor. If we can bake, saute, roast, then there is a process of dehydration, losing moisture through heat. And that dehydration helps concentrate flavors. So in this case, when we baked our beets, we've actually concentrated our flavors. You can see some of the beet water in the bottom of our baking dish, which means that water has come out of the beet, which means our beets are now going to be even more packed with flavor. So just something to think about, something to remember as you start to learn how to cook and cook more, understanding some of the physics of cooking. You all know about aged beef and how famous aged beef is. And today you hear about 30-day-old and 45-day-old and 60-day-old and 120-day-old. Well, all that means is that that piece of meat has been in a cooler with a low velocity fan circulating air around it to promote dehydration. And the dehydration is what intensifies the flavor of that beef. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, feel like a doctor. Alrighty, so for our little mixing bowl here, we'll go ahead and cut up our beets. Oh, see, I took my gloves off. How about that? Now I'm going to get beets all over myself. I don't mind. I love beets. I'm going to slice them. I'm more concerned at getting beets on the board than I am on my fingers. And you can slice them any way you like. What I'm doing is slicing them in wedges. And I encourage you to make an abundance of beet salad or beets, because again, they last for a while. You can have them in your refrigerator, peeled. You can have them already mixed in your vinaigrette, which really is nice to have ready to go. And I just want you to notice that beautiful magenta color, that deep, when you slice into it. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? This is one of my go-to vegetable dishes or salads when I'm cooking at home. And there's nobody that I know that doesn't like it. Maybe except for my brother-in-law. He sent his nephew out here last summer, or he sent my nephew out here last summer, his son, who professed the same disdain for beets, until I made some beets for him out of the garden. And he went home a beet lover to the sustain of his father. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mince my shallot. Isn't it beautiful? When I look at vegetables or when I look at food, and you see things like that grow naturally, and it's hard not to just be amazed at the wonder of nature. I'll take off my first layer of skin there. This is a really nice shallot. Now, knife skills are really important. How do you get good knife skills? Practice, practice, practice. So I'm holding my finger straight while my blade is actually going right down along my fingertips. Am I afraid of cutting myself? Never. Have I cut myself before? Often. Not often, but once in a while. So now I have my slices down. I'm going to now cut into so I can actually dice my shallot. Now I want to keep my blade kind of angled down a little bit because if I slip, I don't want it to cut into me. I want it to go down into the board. So always angle your blade down slightly, just as a precaution, okay? All right. Alrighty, go. My minced shallot. Go ahead and put that in our beets. Give a little tear to my eye here. And then we're going to simply dress it with some molten salt, our finishing salt. Some balsamic vinegar, nice balsamic vinegar. This is our 12-year-old balsamic. And of course, beautiful extra virgin olive oil. Some minced chives. The chives you want to add as a color, but also as a flavor. So when I finish this, I'm going to put a little more chive on the top. I mean, this is just beautiful. This is why I love vegetables so much. Moments like this where you just can't wait to dig into them. Always the last one for me. Okay? We have our beautiful beet salad. Can I say this is my favorite vegetable? Right now, it is. You can do with the eggplant or the garlic, using it in a pasta is a wonderful way to use confit of eggplant. Garnishing any proteins, puree.